Come one, come all to witness Cat Mario. This is a game also known as Sayobon Action, where it's basically Super Mario but emotionally challenging. This is a game that's gonna make you feel sad and it's gonna hurt you. We are currently on our 0th life. I pray that I don't struggle any longer. I think, yeah, we can jump over that. And then I'm worried about this pipe. I feel like it is gonna... Okay. Okay, we're good. Now, I have seen this game before. Like, I know some of the tricks that it has up its sleeve, but I am not a Sayabon expert. I am not a Cat Mario expert. Okay, so we can't trick it. We do need to go around the top, I'm pretty sure. You know, I played this game a little bit when I was younger. I don't think I've ever beaten it, but I certainly got to 1-2. I do remember that at least. Right, so we need to jump from further back. It's one of those things where, like, this is a game that's intentionally made to be frustrating, but I don't think it's done with nearly as much tact as a game like Getting Over It, where the overall design is fair, but difficult. The other thing I have to say on this game, in terms of, like, game design, is it has a lot more charm than various games that are intentionally frustrating, but maybe not as well designed. Like, Getting Over It is a well-designed game and is charming. This is a... I'm not going to say poorly designed game because it does what it sets out to do, but it's an intentionally wrongly designed... Like, it breaks design convention as part of the gimmick. It's very charming, though. A lot of games don't have that going for them. I haven't played that many of these kinds of rage games, but I've played plenty of Super Mario Maker levels that, you know, they don't follow any conventional design wisdom. They're intentionally frustrating, and they're not charming at all. Like, this is a charming game. Super Mario Maker levels that are made to be frustrating, not nearly as charming. But it's one of those things where, like, is trial and error a valid, like, game design philosophy? It is. I think, like, games like Dark Souls and stuff, they're kind of designed to be played in a kind of trial and error way. They should try not to get to the point of being frustrating. I think a game like Dark Souls doesn't want to disengage its player by making the game too difficult or too rage-inducing, but they are ultimately meant to be built on that trial and error philosophy, and so is roguelike. Like, any roguelike game is kind of trial and error focused. You're probably not going to beat the game on a first run through. Maybe you will. There are some games where I think that's certainly possible. I wouldn't say that Isaac is necessarily one of them, but Isaac is what comes to mind when I think roguelike. I mean, you'll have noticed that if you've been a long-time viewer of the channel, anytime I talk about roguelikes, I'm talking about Isaac. There's other games that I play. Like, I played Dead Cells, I played Balatro, but by and large, the face of roguelikes is Isaac for me. And I think that's increasingly changing. I think people are more often thinking of games like Hades in recent year. And I need to play Hades, because I don't want to be out of the club, you know? Like, all these people who are like, Hades is the best game ever, Hades is so great, you need to play Hades. And I'm sitting over here like, damn, I bought Hades, and I did. I have the game, and I've just never played it. It's like Stardew Valley. People keep telling me it's amazing, it's great, I gotta get into it, and I boot it up and I don't care. Like, I don't get to the gameplay before the... That's kind of the thing. It's like, my attention span is fine. I don't claim that TikTok or YouTube Shorts has damaged my attention span. I think my attention span is great. I think I can really sink my teeth in to a thing. Like, I think I can really get away with spending a lot of time on a thing. I don't think my attention span is bad. I can play a video game for hours and hours and hours, and it's not a problem. It's just that initial hurdle of you're trying to sell me on your game. Like the first startup of the game is you trying to get me to play it. And in some ways it's not, because you've sold me the game already. If I'm on the startup screen, I bought the game. So if your only goal is to sell me the game, then you've sold me the game. But from a less literal financial perspective, and from a more, game devs want you to play their games. Like, that's a thing. From that perspective, I really don't think that a lot of these games make a good first impression. I don't understand. I guess I need to jump over the flag. I could do that. Hades is a game where I boot it up and I didn't get to the gameplay before the point where it's like, okay, I want to do something else. If there's a big build-up to me actually getting to play your game, that sucks. I love games that just drop you in. I love Balatro. I just pressed start. There was a short tutorial, but it was short, and, I got to play the actual game. Moreover, I love tutorials where you don't need to do what they're saying. They tell you the advised thing to do, but then they let you make a different choice. Those games are fantastic because that way I can pick up on what the tutorial's trying to tell me, but I also get to start the gameplay right there. And I think that's a problem that I have with a lot of games, is they don't put me into the gameplay until 30 minutes in. I mean, that's a tough pill to swallow, right? It's like, you boot up this game and it's going to waste 20 minutes of your time before you start to play the game. And then what if you don't like it? Then it's just like a slap in the face almost. I want a game that respects my time. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. I feel like a lot of these games don't respect the player's time. Give me a button that'll just drop me into the game. I know it sounds like I'm impatient, but it actually just comes down to the fact that, sometimes you're busy. Sometimes you've got shit to do and you've got some downtime. You don't want to spend it starting up a game. You want to spend it actually playing the game. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to play Minecraft mod packs. And the thing with Minecraft mod packs is, on my dad's shitty laptop, they took ages to boot up. I mean, we're talking like 12 plus minutes waiting for the Forge loading screen. I just wouldn't put up with that now. If it takes more than like a couple minutes, because I'm understanding, I'm not stupid. I know that like loading 100 odd mods doesn't take 5 seconds. I think that if it takes too long, I'll just do something else. I don't need to put all of my time into this one thing. And I guess that's the thing, is there's no shortage of games to play, and there's no shortage of good games to play. It's not like by picking a different game that's not Hades, I'm going to have a worse experience. I'm just not going to have the Hades experience. I'm going to get the Hollow Knight experience instead. There's a game that just drops you into the gameplay. And Hollow Knight really grabbed my attention. Not the first time I played it, but I came back to it. I've never come back to Hades, and part of the reason is because I wanted to play the game and they didn't let me. This isn't a Hades problem, by the way. This isn't a call-out on Hades about how I hate Hades. It's just a game that I can think of that kind of fits the bill of the problem I'm describing. Ah!